All right, what's up, Real Men Wear Kilts TV? This is Patrick Joy, and we are coming at you with another Nebraska football edition of Real Men Wear Kilts TV. If you saw my video from last night previewing the Oklahoma-Nebraska game that took place just a little while ago, you'll know that I said it was going to be close. And guess what? It was. Final score was 23-16. Now, Nebraska going into this game, the spread was not in our favor. Oklahoma was picked to win by at least 22.5 points. And they did not even come close. If you're a Nebraska fan like I am, we should be excited. Yes, we lost. But we took on, as an unranked team, we took on the number 3 team in the country. And you know what? We kept it fucking close. Holy crap. Now, I'm sorry for dropping the F-bomb, but, you really got to look at this. I know the trolls are going to be out and the Fairweather fans are going to be out going, oh, we suck and all this other crap. You know what? Shut up. Seriously. We kept this close. Now, I'm going to break down here in a little bit. I'm going to break down the game, quarter by quarter, things I observed and things that I think that we can work on, things we can improve on, that sort of thing. Now, the big question for me is, it was close. There's the big question that people making the ratings and rankings and whatnot have to ask themselves is OU as good as they thought the OU is, or is Nebraska better than they thought? There's a moth flying around. Got it. There we go. Oops. Get my monitor there. Sorry about that. But anyways, is OU as good as they've been thinking they are, or is Nebraska just better than what we thought? I mean, like I said, we kept it close. Holy crap! You look at the game; it could have gone either way. Anything could happen. There was huge explosive plays. It felt like a typical Nebraska OU rivalry game. And all time, the Big Ten, we got Iowa as our rival. But as far as an all-time rival goes, Oklahoma is by far Nebraska's biggest rival. It is probably one of the most storied rivalries in college football. And what we saw today, I think, has, big ramifications for going into the future. 23-16. 23-16, Oklahoma won. Oklahoma was picked to win by 22.5 points. More than 3 touchdowns they were picked to win by. And we were able to keep close. Things we did well. Let's look at let's break this down. Let's look at the first quarter. You can tell I'm really excited about how this game went, and I wish it would have been a win for Nebraska. It very could have easily been a win for Nebraska, but let's break down the game. So in the first quarter, at the end of the first quarter, the score was 3-7 in favor of OU. Now, what happened in the first quarter? Well, one, Oklahoma's offense looked pretty tough. They looked pretty tough. And their defense was pretty tough as well. But let's look at Nebraska. Defense, we were very physical on that first drive for OU. We were very physical. We were very aggressive. We got after the O-line, Oklahoma's O-line. We got after the quarterback. In fact, almost every play in that drive, we had deep penetration into OU's backfield. We played very physical, very competitive in that first drive again. OU's first drive. Now, our first drive of the game, The O-line needed to make improvements. And you could tell they were kind of like, a little bit all over. They were missing blocks. They were just not getting the job done. But despite of that, our offense looked pretty strong. Defense almost got an interception in the first quarter. Black Shirts, like I said, they almost got an interception. If it had, I honestly think, looking at that, watching the replay on that play, it looked like our guy should have had it, but before he could take full possession of that ball, the OU receiver was able to bat the ball out of our defensive player's hands. Let's see here. A big improvement is, in the past when we've had setbacks, from penalties or whatever, we let it affect us. And it kind of stopped us in our tracks. This game, this first quarter, when we had those setbacks from penalties and whatnot on offense, it didn't really set us back. We just said, okay, well, we're going to go right back at it. And like I said, the defense was close to getting the QB quite a bit in that first quarter. And that first quarter was really only 2 drives, for the most part. OU's drive and Nebraska's drive. OU's drive obviously ended in a touchdown. Ours ended in a field goal. But it really, at that point, I was like, "This is good." When I saw how that first quarter went, I said, "Holy shit, this is going to be close." Now you look at the second quarter. The second quarter. Early on, our defense was kind of struggling against OU's run. But then our defense, of course, an incomplete pass on a blitz that almost resulted in a sack. I mean, we were this close to getting a sack. I mean, super close, and that could have very well really shifted momentum in our favor. But, it didn't happen. On offense, the O-line seemed to settle down. Our passing looked great. Martinez was looking excellent. He really looked excellent the whole game for the most part. It seemed like our offense was taking advantage of critical situations and good running. On OU's side, their offense was looking good on the run. Their defense, seemed to have good penetration. Their defense started really spying on Martinez. And they also managed to actually sack Martinez at one point as well. And as a result, going into halftime, the score was still 3-7. That second quarter was really, that was definitely 100%. Anybody with eyes could tell that this was going to be a tight game. Yes, we had missed field goals. They had missed field goals. There were missed opportunities on both sides. But the fact is, we were competitive. Going into quarter 3, we had good physical start on offense, great passing. We seemed very highly motivated. OU's offense was looking good too. They blocked a point after, and actually, they blocked a point after attempt on our part, and actually ran it back the other way and scored 2 points. That kind of sucked. I think it kind of knocked the wind out of a lot of fans' sails, but it really didn't seem too effective on Nebraska. Because Nebraska came right back at them and, kept on going. Going into the fourth quarter, Martinez got sacked again. The offense on OU side was looking good. Our offense was looking pretty good too. In fact, we had some big explosive passes. Particularly one in particular, the O-line did give up a sack, which really sucked, and Martinez did throw an interception. Ultimately, if we throw aside the penalties and, if we set them aside, stupid mistakes, and we look at, some of the other stuff that happened in the game, this game very easily, more easily than I would have predicted, could have gone the other way and could have been Nebraska winning and upsetting Oklahoma. That being said, I think Oklahoma should be embarrassed by how they played today against Nebraska. They were the number 3 team in the country, and they very easily could have lost this game if it wasn't for a few items. If our special teams was a little bit better, if they didn't get lucky and get that block for that, point after and catching and running all the way back, if, and you play a what if game. The fact is, Oklahoma did win, but it wasn't as much Oklahoma winning and beating Nebraska as it was Nebraska beating itself again. And we saw this in the Illinois game. Illinois game, Nebraska beat itself. But I will say this. This game was a huge improvement over the Illinois game in a lot of ways. One, we were more explosive. Martinez looked like he was way more on point. The O-line did a lot better in general. Penalties, I think about the same. I'm not sure exactly how many penalties we had in the Illinois game and how many penalties we had this game, but you look at the Illinois game. There were a lot of times where we had critical moments that we could have taken the advantage and actually done a lot better, and we didn't. But we definitely showed improvement. Where in this game, we took advantage in critical moments. We made a lot more plays that were a little bit more bigger and whatnot. This game very easily could have gone the other way. And, ultimately, I don't think it comes down to coaching. I think it comes down to player execution. I think the players need to try to be a little more disciplined. I think, and don't get me wrong, the guys did great today. Took on the number 3 team in the country, left everything on the field, and kept it close. And this has ramifications looking forward. This should be a huge confidence boost for Nebraska. We were competitive against one of the best teams in the country, and that is huge. Yes, we didn't win, but we were competitive. I was watching, kind of looking at social media a little bit while watching the game, and of course, you still had the trolls and fair weather fans coming out and saying, "Oh, Nebraska sucks," and Firefrost and Martinez sucks and all this other stuff. Martinez don't suck. Martinez is actually a pretty decent quarterback, and I think with a little more hard work, I think he'll be pretty good. And Frost, I think he is our man for the job at Nebraska as far as getting the team back to where it needs to be. I don't think we're going to see a jump into the top 25 after this game. I don't see it. However, I see Oklahoma dropping and Nebraska at least being in the conversation for the top 25. That's just my opinion. Looking forward at future games, our next game looks like is Michigan State. And the site I pulled up doesn't have the. Hold on, let me see here. Let me see if I can get a better. Okay, here we go. So next week we travel to East Lansing, Michigan to face Michigan State. Michigan State is not currently ranked. In fact, I think the only ranked team. Okay, I need that other one up too. Michigan State is not currently ranked. We were competitive against the number 3 team in the country. So that being said, Michigan State, I think we can win that game, which will put us up to 3-2. Up to 3-2. Northwestern again, not currently ranked. They'll be our next game, or after Michigan State. Northwestern, I think we can beat as well. Michigan, I believe they are. Yeah, they're currently ranked number 25 in the country. You know what? If we're competitive against the number 3 team in the country, I think we can beat the 25th team in the country. I think we can win that one. So that puts us up to 5 wins on the season if things go as predicted. Then we have Minnesota. Let's see, I want to look at a couple other things. So Northwestern and Michigan are both at home. I think we can win both of those. Michigan State, I think we can beat them. Minnesota, it's at Minnesota, and it's October 16th. It's going to be getting kind of cold in Minnesota. Minnesota tends to do well at home, tends to do well in the cold. But I think we can win that one too, which puts us up to 6 wins. Let's see here. I need to check something. Let's see. Purdue, October 30th. Not currently ranked. Probably won't be at that point in time. But you know what? I think we can beat Purdue as well. I think these, every game left on our schedule, I think it's going to be a tough game. But I think we can beat Purdue. Then we take on Ohio, and that is a home game. Ohio is currently the 9th ranked number 9 in the country. I think they're on track to potentially win the Big Ten East, if I remember correctly. I think it'll be a tough game. I'm gonna call it a loss. I'm gonna call it a loss, and here's why. I think Ohio State, talent-wise, I think they got us beat talent-wise, but I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be closer than the Nebraska-Oklahoma game. In fact, it might even be a win. It might be, it's kind of hard to tell. It's a home game, it might be our best chance at an overtime game. And there's a chance we could win. I'll give it a 50-50. It might be a win, it might be a loss. But if I'm not counting as a win right now, we'll count it as a loss. Then we travel to Madison, Wisconsin to take on Wisconsin. Wisconsin currently not ranked. Oh, no, they are currently ranked. They're at number 18 in the country. I think we could possibly win that game. I think it'll be close, but I'm going to give a slight edge to Nebraska on that game. And here's why. Yes, it's Wisconsin, and it's in Wisconsin, but I think at that point, coming off of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, possibly 7 wins at that point with only 3 losses. Or potentially 3 losses. It might be only 2 losses and 8 wins at that point. looking at it, I think Nebraska will have a good amount of momentum in their favor, and maybe at that point Nebraska might actually be ranked. It depends on how the Ohio State game goes. And then finally, November 26th, we play Iowa, day after Thanksgiving. And that, I believe, that's a home game as well. Iowa is, their arrival in the Big Ten. It's at Nebraska. We're looking at possibly 8 or 9 wins at that point. Not necessarily a must-win situation, but definitely a game to... I don't know how to call that one. Iowa's currently ranked number 5 in the country. I'm going to say if we beat Ohio State, we will probably beat Iowa. If we don't beat Ohio State, we'll probably lose to Iowa. But I think our chances at a bowl game this year is certainly very good, given how we performed against Oklahoma. It gives me hope for. It gives me a lot of hope for the rest of the schedule. Yes, we didn't. Yes, we didn't beat Oklahoma, but we were really competitive, and that should give people a lot of hope. Keys going forward that I see is improvement on special teams, improvement on the O-line, improvement on defense. I think in the fourth quarter, our defense towards the last little bit of the game started kind of running out of gas. Same thing with our O-line. I think we get our O-line a little more disciplined. I think if we work on our defense, work on our special teams, a little bit more work on offense, I think we're going to do very well this year. That's my prediction. I think we're going to actually be a team that, next year for sure, we are going to be in the conversation. I think we're going to be in the conversation as far as the top 25 goes after this game, but I don't think we'll actually get into the top 25, but I think we will be at least in the conversation. Which is a big improvement. We haven't really been in the conversation in a while. Like I said, looking forward, I think we expect big things out of the team. I think, so far every game I've seen major improvements each game, and I think we'll see that going forward. We had a tough, physical, down and dirty, drag-out street fight of a game against Oklahoma that could have very easily had a couple things went the opposite direction that they did. Could have very easy, and a few less penalties, and a few, less, a little bit more one thing, a little less another, type deal. I think this game could have very easily went the other direction, more so than, it did. That being said, I wish I had money on Nebraska today because would have paid off a little bit. But I don't gamble because my luck, if I tried gambling, it would not end well for me. But that being said, I think every Nebraska fan should be happy, even though it's a loss. It is. If there was such a thing as a good loss, this would be one. We kept it close. We kept it competitive against a team that's ranked way above where, before this game, we weren't even in the conversation, for even the top 25. After this game, I think we're going to be in the conversation. Be interesting to see what happens when the ratings come out. I don't think we're going to break into the top 25, but I think we'll at least be in the conversation. And being in the conversation is half the battle. Going forward, we have some tough teams to play, but I could see 6, 7, 8, 9 wins on the schedule. And that's counting the 2 wins we already have. Very, very fun game to watch. I really enjoyed watching this game. Even though we lost, I had a lot of fun watching this game because it felt like the Nebraska-Oklahoma of old. It felt like, it felt like the old rivalry. It felt like, it could go either way. It felt like, things could have been a lot different. That's the thing. You look at it. You look at what happened, and like I said, it could easily gone another direction, but it didn't this time. Next year, I can't wait for it to be in Lincoln next year, Nebraska, Oklahoma. I can't wait. I think it's going to be incredible. Yeah, I mean, you look at Martinez. Martinez played probably one of his best games in this game. Definitely, like I said, there's definitely room for improvement. There's always room for improvement. I know there's some fair weather fans and trolls out there who are going to try and say that, say that full of shit or something, but I don't really care. You look at what's coming forward, and we got a tough schedule ahead of us, and we proved that we can be competitive. We proved that Nebraska deserves a lot more respect than it's received in the past. We proved that we have the talent to hang in there and be competitive and potentially win. Like I said, we very easily could have won this game. It's just little things that are plaguing us right now. The little things that are plaguing Nebraska, and going forward, keep working on those things, keep improving on those things, and we're there. We're right there. We're on the cusp of getting out of the slump and getting back to where we're in the conversation almost every year for top 25, for bowl games, for possibly even national title games, playoffs, that sort of thing. And it's due to what Frost is doing at Nebraska. He is rebuilding the program, but rebuilding a program, especially one that had fallen as far as Nebraska did and been plagued by the problems that Nebraska has been plagued by, it takes time. A lot of people are really impatient. They thought, Frost would show up and suddenly be incredible again. It doesn't work that way. It'd be nice if it did. But, here's the thing. The coaches can coach all they want. The players got to execute. We work on our discipline. We work on improving where we need to improve. And we'll be there. I mean, that's the fact of the matter. We'll be there. And you look at how it's going and whatnot, just give it a little bit of time, guys. Just a little bit more time. That's all we need is a little more time, and we're going to be there. That being said, I'll see you guys next week. For those of you who want to watch the Nebraska football stuff, I'll see you guys next week with my thoughts of the Northwestern or Michigan State game, I should say. Should be an interesting game. It looks like it's going to be on FS1 at 6 p.m. So nighttime game. Should be good. With that being said, I hope everyone's doing well. If you like this channel, hit like and subscribe. That way you never miss a video. Tuesday, I believe it's Tuesday. Let me double check that on the calendar here. Yeah. No, Monday. Monday, I will be back on here with one of my normal videos. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I have to figure that out. And tomorrow, I will be at twitch.tv/RealMenWearKillsTV. I will be streaming tomorrow afternoon. Have not picked a time yet. Not sure what time, but I'll be on there live streaming, probably playing a video game. Not sure what game I'm playing yet. Check out the Facebook page for updates on that. And like I said, check out twitch.tv/RealMenWearKillsTV for the live streams. It's a lot of fun. Come hang out. I play video games, talk with you guys in the chat. Good times. Now, the live stream, we don't do politics, and we try to stay away from controversial subjects for the live stream, because that I do with one of my other one of the other charities that I support, which is Alpha Nerds Guild, and they don't want us doing anything, too controversial or, anything like that, because they don't want to mess with their image. That being said, check out Javelin. Javelin's awesome 501c charity. They help veterans and former law enforcement, former first responders with getting service dogs. Those of us who need service dogs, they help with us obtaining the service dogs as well as the training part. Great organization. They do a lot of really good work. I've benefited from them. So if you're looking for a good organization to donate some money to, or maybe you have a litter of puppies that you need to find homes for, talk to them. Check them out, javelin.org. Right there, as far as that goes. And with that, go Big Red. Can't wait for next week's game. I think it's going to be an awesome game. I think we're going to win. I think it'll be close, but I think we'll win. And afterwards, like I said, I'll do another video talking about that game. Hope everyone's doing well. Catch y'all later.